Hello everyone! Before I get into Elimination Chamber 2018, I do want to talk about my live streaming series I'm going to be doing from now on. I thought the first one went very well. I really enjoyed doing it. I had a lot of fun. So moving forward, I'm going to try, life, like I said, life gets in the way sometimes, so we'll see how that goes. But for right now, I'm planning on doing every Saturday a live stream where I watch, once a week, I'll go through one episode of Saturday Night's Main Event and one episode of Clash of Champions, and review it, react to it, and just relive some good memories, and watch some stuff I'd never seen before. So, doing this stream of just watching the one episode of Saturday Night's Main Event was a lot of fun, and the show was not like a stellar, amazing show, but it was the right level of good, solid stuff, entertainment, and like nostalgia, like time capsule type of material. So it was a lot of fun rewatching it. I think I marked out harder for a Junkyard Dog squash match than I did literally anything else on Elimination Chamber. My oh my, nostalgia is a powerful drug indeed. But yeah, so thank you to everyone who participated in that stream, and like I said, I plan on doing these every Saturday moving forward. Again, we'll see how that goes depending on my schedule. But the next one I'm planning for 10:30 a.m. Eastern on Saturday morning, which I believe is the 3rd, and then I'll watch the second episode of Saturday Night's Main Event and the first episode of Clash of Champions, which has the legendary Sting versus Ric Flair 45-minute draw, which happened the same day as WrestleMania 4, so I'm really looking forward to revisiting that. The match that made one of my all-time favorites, Sting, a superstar. So yes, I absolutely want to go back and rewatch that. Another video I'm working on, I'm doing my top 10 match series still, and I guess I can just go ahead and spoil what it is. I'm going to be doing my top 10 favorite Ring of Honor matches of all time. I am not like the hugest Ring of Honor fan. I don't mean that as a detriment to them. It's just I very rarely got into a period where I was watching them regularly. I think in the last 3 years I've watched more Ring of Honor than I have in their entire previous history. Anything I watched prior to that, I pretty much had to do in spots because, my life was pretty hectic back then, and watching a wrestling show or keeping up with a wrestling promotion through DVDs was just impractical and not hard to financially, justify. So, but I have watched enough of Ring of Honor and enough of their 16-year history to pick out 10 of my favorite matches, and that'll be a very interesting video to do. They are coming up on their 16th anniversary show in March, so I wanted to make sure that I gave them their props. They've been around for 16 years and have done very, very well for themselves, and I think the wrestling business, while Ring of Honor has not always been perfect, and I have criticized them in the past, I think the wrestling business has overall been better off having them around. And you can look at that just by the talent that they produced. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles came from there, Christopher Daniels. They have just produced so much great talent that I do want to bring attention to them and give them their props and select and talk about my top 10 favorite Ring of Honor matches. So that should be up at the latest. I'm shooting for it to be up by Wednesday, but again, we'll see. I've rewatched all the matches I selected just to keep them fresh in my mind. So, it'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to filling that one out. But, with all that said, let's jump into Elimination Chamber 2018. It was kind of a nothing show, to be perfectly honest. Not a whole lot happened. Honestly, if I'm gonna to speak truthfully about it, I think the Ronda Rousey segment was the best thing on the whole show. Because everything else just kind of fell flat. And except for one match. There was one match that was pretty good. But for the most part, it was just kind of a paint-by-numbers show with a main event that dragged on way too long and gave us a very predictable finish that made us all groan. So the ending definitely left me feeling flat. But I guess I can just go into it match by match. We started off with the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Champion Alexa Bliss defending against Mickie James, Sasha Banks, Bayley, and the two girls that are with Paige, Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, I believe their names are. I've seen very little of them, so I don't really have a fully formed opinion of them. I've heard Mandy Rose is terrible. Fortunately, in this match, she didn't really get a chance to show it because she was mostly just double teaming with Sonya Deville, giving Paige's team an advantage throughout the match. I thought the match was overall good. I thought the girls gave a solid effort. Mickie James did her Luthez jumping off one of the pods, kind of like what she did in TNA when she jumped off the steel cage in that match. I believe she was working against Victoria or Tara in TNA during that match. Mickie looks outstanding still. She's still, goddamn, she's like a decade. Well, how old is she? She's like a decade or more older than all those girls, and I think she's the hottest one of the bunch. I mean, the Wonder Woman gear definitely helps, but yeah, I thought Mickie looked really good. I liked Alexa Bliss trying to like cheat her way to victory. Not necessarily cheat, because in this match you can't really cheat, but like kind of like weasel her way to victory. And the Twisted Bliss off the pod was cool, and the so there was some cool stuff, and Bayley and Sasha like teaming up on her, and then Sasha turning on Bayley, which doesn't really make much sense, because it's like, look, Bad News Brown at WrestleMania 4 in that Battle Royal had it down perfect. You do the double team, you get rid of the guy that you're teaming against, and then you screw over your partner. You don't screw over your partner before you've eliminated the threat that you're looking to eliminate. But every time there's a double team, somebody screws the other person before they've eliminated the threat that they're double teaming against. It's like, come on, guys. Bad News Brown. His strategy worked. He won that battle. He won that goddamn trophy. And Bret Hart broke it because he's a jerk. But anyway, I thought the match was enjoyable. Alexa Bliss won, which I think was the right way to go. Her promo post-match I thought was really good, because she started like crying and getting really emotional. The fans are chanting, "You deserve it." I'm looking at this situation like, is she turning face? I mean, they kind of set her up as the face here. She overcame 2-on-1 odds, won the match, and she's crying now and all this other stuff. And then she just turned heel in the crowd in an excellent way. It's like, good for you, you saucy bitch. I like Alexa. I like the cut of her jib. So yeah, good heel promo there. I liked it. So overall, just an enjoyable match. I'm not going to say it's one of my favorite Elimination Chambers, but on this show, it may as well have been pure gold, because there was nothing else on the show that lived up to it. So that was a solid match. Unfortunately, it was all downhill from here. Match-wise, at least. And second match was the tag title match. It was... who the fuck was it? I don't even remember who it was. It was Cesaro and Sheamus the Bar versus Titus... What's the name of that group again? Titus Underworld? Titus... I forget. I shows you how little I've been paying attention to what's going on Raw. The match was just a filler match. It was just there. It's all it was. The Bar won, which was probably the right decision, but the match it was a nothing match. So moving on from there, then we had... what was the next match? Oh, it was Asuka versus Nia Jax in a match that was fine, but I've also seen them have that damn near exact same match like 5 or 6 times, so they didn't really do anything here that really stood out to me. So you got Nia Jax attacking Asuka post-match and ramming her through the barricade. I don't know if that's going to have any kind of long-term repercussions. I doubt it, but yeah, the match was fine. It's just that I'd feel like I'd already seen it before, so it didn't really stick out to me either by the end of the show. That's the problem with doing the same match over and over again. After a while, they all start to look alike. But it was probably the second best match on the show. But yeah, and then from there we got... going back to the previous match, thank God Asuka went over, because I think that was absolutely the right decision. And I hope they do Asuka versus Charlotte, because I think that's absolutely the right match to do. Nothing against Alexa, but I just think Charlotte and Asuka has more of a...
Sorry, I don't know that.
I gotta keep unplugging Alexa. Don't you... Alexa, stop! Don't even. Alexa, stop! There you go. Okay, anyway, Alexa deserves to be put in a match at WrestleMania, but I think Asuka and Charlotte is a more interesting one, because they've never really crossed paths, and I think Charlotte, as like the pure athletic type, is someone that could be believably a threat to Asuka's streak, whereas Alexa Bliss would just be the Weasley heel. It's like, oh my god, how's she gonna get away from Asuka? She's probably not. And you get the appeal of Asuka like ripping her to shreds, but I think the Charlotte match would be a better match for a show that's probably going to lack some matches that I'm interested in. So, yeah, it's probably... I mean, if they do Asuka and Charlotte, it's probably going to be Bayley versus Sasha versus Alexa in a triple threat, and then Alexa's, don't you... Alexa, stop! Okay, damn it. Anyway, it's going to be to a point where Bliss... uses the triple threat to her advantage and screws her way into retaining the title or something like that. So, anyway, then we got Woken Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt in a match that apparently left the crowd feeling flat because they started chanting, Rusev Day and various other things. But, okay, I've already talked ad nauseum about Bray Wyatt and how that character's been fucked every which way till Sunday. Woken Matt Hardy right now is not working in the WWE, and the main reason it's not working is that they're not doing the things that got it over in TNA, which would be the Broken Universe segments. That was what got the character over. It was like you would cut to these segments of him at the Hardy compound talking to King Maxwell and Senor Benjamin and, the exemplary xylophone. Ah, yes, wonderful. And Skarsgård, the dilapidated boat, and all this other weird shit. It would just be like really weird shit. It was almost like being transported into another universe. And right now, it's just Matt Hardy acting weird, and I think the only people that are into it are the ones that remember it from TNA. And I think the people who aren't familiar with it are just confused. Because they haven't really given the proper context to really establish that character and have him play the piano. That's another thing. I don't like the theme song at all. The theme music, it's too produced. I think the piano theme that they came up with in TNA was much better because it was simpler. And it lent itself to an amazing entrance where Rebby Sky played the piano at Bound for Glory. So a lot of the things that made the character work just aren't there right now. Brother Nero, as Jeff Hardy, for those of you who don't know, has got to show up in this thing at some point just to give us something. But right now, it's just Matt Hardy acting weird without a lot of context, and I think that's really missing from the character. The teleportation bit they did at the start of the match didn't really do anything for me. It was like low rent Undertaker, really, and the match itself was blah. Matt Hardy got the win, which means I was like, okay, is this the end of the feud? Because personally, I would have liked it if they'd done the build up all the way through. Then at WrestleMania, they do a final deletion style match, which they could just as easily still do, but, I'd like to see that. But unfortunately, they've done the match so many times that it's like, I don't know if they can generate enough intrigue to have that match. But then again, I mean, if they have Jeremy Borash produce it, which I'm assuming is one of the reasons that they hired him, it could still work and still be a lot of fun and really good. So we'll see. We'll see how it all goes. But right now, Woken Matt Hardy is not working. And they've got to tap into the elements that really made it work in TNA. That's currently not present at the moment. So that match happened. Then after that, I believe, was the Ronda Rousey contract signing segment where Stephanie, Triple H, and Kurt Angle are all in the ring. They give Ronda Rousey her contract. She cuts an awful promo and starts stammering on the mic. It's like, okay, don't ever talk. Like, until you get the promos down, just don't talk. I think, and as the segment showed, I think she's more effective when she doesn't talk and just stares intently. Like her throwing Triple H to the table and, staring down Stephanie and all of that stuff. That was more effective than her talking, shall we say. So a lot of that came off okay. It's just that at WrestleMania, it's like, really, her first match is going to be with Stephanie and Triple H? I guess it plays off of what happened at WrestleMania a few years ago, and I guess Kurt Angle's going to be her partner, which I don't know if you guys have seen what Kurt Angle looks like these days. Last few times I've seen him work, he's just like, ugh, Kurt's looking a little rough, but yeah, it's I mean, her putting Triple H to the table, I mean, Triple H, that's the hardest he's put over somebody in the last decade, aside from Daniel Bryan. It's just, my God, I guess you could say he tried to put over Roman Reigns that strong, but that didn't work so well. But, yeah, I mean, the Ronda Rousey stuff was probably the best stuff on the show, to be perfectly honest. But, I just don't like where it's leading, because that match just isn't that interesting to me. I would have rather they put Ronda in there with someone interesting, even if it was someone like Alexa Bliss. Like, oh my God, I do the Charlotte Asuka match, and then you've got Alexa with no challenger. Oops, there's Ronda Rousey, and then it's like, oh God, she's gonna die.
I don't know that one.
God damn it, I did it again. Fuck. I gotta keep unplugging my Echo before I do my videos. Anyway, fuck it. Maybe I shouldn't unplug it. I've got a nice running gag going here. We've got a contentious relationship here, you bitch. Anyway, you could do the person with the last name Bliss versus Ronda match, where it's like Bliss is the coward running away from Rousey, and you can generate that intrigue. And plus, Bliss would get a kind of a rub from the attention that Rousey's going to bring, and then you get Charlotte versus Asuka, which is more the pure, like, wrestling match. And then if Rousey sticks around, you can do Asuka versus Rousey next year at WrestleMania. So I'm already thinking ahead, but fuck it. They're not going to do any of my ideas, but... then we get the main event, the Elimination Chamber involving the men. There are 7 guys in this. It was Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, Elias, The Miz, Finn Balor, and John Cena, who, I'll get started with John Cena. Okay, what the fuck is the point in having him in these matches anymore? Because before, when he was at, like, his absolute worst... having him in any match was like, oh dear God, Cena's gonna win and fuck everything up. Oh my God. Now it's like, he loses all the time now, so it's like, okay, now I don't even care that he's in there, because it's like, what, he's gonna get eliminated, who gives a shit? It's like, so why are you even there? Like, it's like, dude, I'm gonna quote Ferris Bueller here. Go home. You don't have to be here. Just go home. Retire. Marry Nikki Bella. Do whatever. You're good. I don't need you to put over everybody now. It's like, just go away. Because right now I'm just, I can't even muster the energy to be mad at Cena. Now it's just pure apathy. And him being there is just, like, an interruption. And it's like, alright, I know you're going to get jobbed out, so who cares? But whether Cena was in this match or not, the match itself was kind of dull, I thought. It wasn't mapped out real well. Well, here's the thing. It was mapped out well, except for the fact that we all knew the finish was coming, which threw the entire story off. They had Braun Strowman pretty much run through everybody and kill everybody, and that's fine. I'm totally cool with that. I prefer it. If you're going to book a monster, that's how you do it. I'm completely fine with that, but we all knew Roman was going to win. There was nothing that was going to get in the way of that. So unless Strowman's going over, having him eliminate 5 guys doesn't really matter to me. It's like, all right, we're just get to the finish. Either put Strowman over and make me happy, or put Reigns over and have me groan. That's really all the story did for me. And Strowman, it's like, god damn, they should totally pull the trigger on him. And here's the thing, the difference between Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, because I saw a tweet that said something to the effect of, and I don't know who tweeted it, but I don't understand how the people could hate on Roman Reigns and praise Braun Strowman, even though Roman's more talented than Braun. Okay, let's assume that that's true. Let's assume that Roman Reigns is a more talented worker than Braun Strowman is. That doesn't really matter, because what they're trying to do with Reigns is not working and has not worked for years. Okay? They've been trying to coronate this guy as the heir apparent to John Cena and the top babyface in the company, and it's so forced and so rammed down your throats that the fans just hate him, and instead of embracing it and trying to fix it and trying to do something to make him a more interesting character, like they did with a certain fella called Rocky Maivia, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, hello, instead of doing that, they've decided to just go full-on blunt force trauma. It's like, no, fuck this, we're gonna put Roman over, fuck you. And if you don't like it, tough. And that's their whole mindset. And it's like, look, the fans already made up their minds that they don't like him, and you continuously push him as the top face, which only just gets under people's skins. And it's like, fucking hell, man. We don't care if he beats Brock. We don't care. So you have this WrestleMania main event that we're going to be completely apathetic towards. Okay. Great. Grand. Wonderful. Strowman has been pushed as a dominant monster, is completely believable in that role as a dominant monster, and the fans have latched onto him because he murders people, and it's awesome. So it's like, characters that work. Roman's does not work and has not worked. Strowman's does work and has been working for the last, year now? And they just won't pull the trigger with this guy. And And again, I knew Reigns was winning this match, so I'm just screaming at the wind at this point, but I just don't understand why they think that they can continuously do this with Roman and then be surprised when the fans shit on it. It's like, look, we don't like him. Fuck, he's a boring character. Change it up. Tetsuya Naito. Rip that off. Fuck, do anything. Literally anything to fix Roman. Because anything's better than just doing the exact same thing and forcing him down people's throats. But yeah, so I thought the main event was really dull, very boring, created a very dull and lifeless ending to the pay-per-view. Strowman attacked Roman after the match was over. I didn't care because that's probably not going to have any long-term implications. But yeah, that was Elimination Chamber. I'm going to give it the letter grade of a D. The best thing on the show was Ronda Rousey, and you could probably watch that clip on YouTube. The Women's Chamber was good. Everything else, just, you don't need to watch it. You're fine. If you want to watch the Women's Chamber, I mean, it's not a waste of time, but it's not a match I would say it's like, oh, you absolutely need to go out of your way to watch this. But, yeah, the show just kind of fell flat for me. Just how it is. I don't know why we have 2 pay-per-views heading into WrestleMania. It's like, Jesus Christ, you guys. What have I been saying for years? It's like, of all the pay-per-views they have, I really feel like they could drop the pay-per-view in between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania and just straight up build to WrestleMania with no, like, major roadblocks in between. They've added another fucking show in between because now I've got to review Fastlane in 2 or 3 weeks. Or I could skip it altogether. Who cares? Fuck it. It's, because as long as AJ walks out the champion of that show, I don't really care. And that's kind of my mindset. It's like, look, as long as you don't take the belt off AJ, I'm cool. Because I want AJ versus Nakamura, and yeah, I mean, so they gave me one WrestleMania match I really enjoyed, but it looks like they're gonna do, we're getting Brock and Roman, which I don't care. We're getting Rousey and Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie, which I don't care that much. The only good thing is that, well, at least Triple H is gonna get paired with somebody that he can bury or have a shitty match with that I don't want to have a shitty match at WrestleMania. So there's that at least. Nobody's really gonna get hurt in that scenario. We're probably going to get Cena versus Taker, which I've already expressed why I don't want that match. And, I mean, I'm hoping we get Asuka versus Charlotte, but I'm not sure now. And, yeah, WrestleMania is shaping up great, isn't it? But we're getting AJ Nakamura, so it's like, look, could you put that match on first, and then I can just go to bed, and I don't have to sit through a 5-hour show, I mean, you don't even have to make it the main event. Just make it the opening match. Let them tear the house down, and then I can just go to bed. We'll all be happy. I'll be happy. You'll be happy. We're all good. We're all good here. But anyway, that concludes my review. Like I said, I've got more videos on the way. More WrestleMania MVP LVPs. My next top 10 video, top 10 Ring of Honor matches. That'll be coming up soon. And my Saturday night's main event Clash of Champions streaming series is going to continue next Saturday. Again, assuming everything goes okay and nothing falls in my lap to ruin my Saturday morning, you'll be getting that as well. But until next time, y'all have a good week, and I will see you all later.